chest, abdomen, back, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy. We can enjoy the peace that we gain from detachment from the body. Nobody is scolding us, nobody is finding fault with us, nobody is beating or hitting us or harming us. We have something to eat, we have a roof above our head. Not everyone has that. So we appreciate the present situation and observe how does that feel in the mind. Now let's share this situation. We can share this feeling, this comfortable peace with other living beings as we allow them to enjoy it too if they can. So in our minds, voicelessly, we can recite and wish, may all beings in this room be in peace, and we gradually expand our thoughts of loving kindness. May all beings in this building be in peace. all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this continent be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be mindful and shine with loving kindness. From now on, I will always be mindful and shine with loving kindness. From now on, I will always be mindful and shine with loving kindness. And with that determination, we can slowly and mindfully change the way of our sitting. I think Dushonli may like to dress some clothes on herself. So everyone make sure that your knees, navel, and shoulders are well covered whenever we meet. And now comes the recitation of 5 precepts. and 3 refuges. So I think let's wait for Dushan Li. And I think I will show you the paper because you didn't see it for a long time, right? All right. So uh, you can join me. First, I will say Yamahang Vadami Tangvade Tha, which means whatever I say, you say, or in other words, repeat after me. And you can then reply Ama Bhante. So I will ask everyone to unmute yourself. Keep your hands together at the chest like this. So let's start together. Yamahang Vadami Tangvade Tha. Very well. So let's try that again. Yamahang Vadami Tangvade Tha. Yes, thank you. And now you can repeat after me. Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha. Okay. Okay. So let's start again. The first repeating. Aham Bhante. Just remember, please, to keep your hands together at the chest. That's a very important sign that you mean it seriously. Tisaranena Saha pañcasīlaṃ Dhammam yājāmi. Anuggaham Katvā Sīlaṃ Detha Me Bhante Anukampaṃ Upādāya. Dutiyampi Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha pañcasīlaṃ Dhammam yājāmi. Anuggaham Katvā Sīlaṃ Detha Me Bhante Anukampaṃ Upādāya. Tatiyampi Aham Bhante Tisaranena Saha pañcasīlaṃ Dhammam yājāmi. Anuggaham Katvā Sīlaṃ Detha Me Bhante anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi sanghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. So now I will announce to you that going for refuges is complete, and you can reply Amma Bhante, yes, Venerable Sir. So let's do that together. Saranagamanang paripunnang. So now come the 5 precepts. So the first precept means I follow the precept of refraining from killing living beings. Panatipata. Veramani. Sikkhapadang. Samadhiyami. The second precept means I follow the precept of refraining from taking what is not given. It means we never steal. Adinadana. Veramani. Sikkhapadang. Samadhiyami. The third precept means I follow the precept of refraining from sexual misconduct. It means we never engage in adultery. It is related to never cheating on one's spouse, If you have a husband or a wife, you're always faithful to them and you never support another one in cheating. So you can repeat after me. Kamesu. Michhajara. Veramani. Sikkhapadam. Samadhiyami. The fourth precept means I follow the precept of refraining from false speech. It means we never tell lies. Musavada. Veramani. Sikkhapadam. Samadhiyami. The last precept means I follow the precept of refraining from drinking alcohol and taking drugs. Sura meraya. Majja. Pamadatthana. Veramani. Sikkhapadam. Samadhiyami. So now I will encourage you to follow and protect the 5 precepts and the 3 refuges and stay mindful. And you can then reply, Ama Bhante. It means, yes, Venerable Sir. So let's do that together. Tisaranena saddhing pañcasīlaṃ dhammang sadhukang surakkhitāṃ katva appamadena sampadetha. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana. Yes, very good. So now we can decide whatever we want to do. So I'm now in Vietnam. I have a little bit different or very different timetable in here because my time is now very different from the time of others who I teach. So my teaching program has changed very, very much. And some of our classes with teens and preteens therefore cannot be conducted now, but we will probably conduct them next week or the week after the next. And therefore there is no story in our Facebook group for drawing because I want all of the groups to be involved. Well, I could make the story, but I like to explain what's in the story before you start drawing so that I am 100% sure that you have access to the story and that you know what's about. Can you hear me well? No, all of your videos are frozen. I see. But are we connected at this moment? So now we are connected. Can you hear me, everyone? Okay, Melanie can hear me. All right. Yes. Thank you. Your videos are frozen though. Videos of everyone is frozen. So let's see. if we can do this. All right, so we are restarting after quite some time, so I think this is a very good opportunity for us to look at the basics. Again, it's very easy to forget the basics, but I wish that you think, that you consider, why do you actually wish, or do you wish to follow the Buddha's teachings? So coming for a course like this every week requires a lot of dedication, a lot of self-sacrifice. During our course, you cannot just run around or jump around or meet with your friends or do whatever you want. You see, you're sitting there in front of your screen and you're listening to a monk talking something. So then it's good to know, why do you do that? What do you actually get from learning the Buddha's teachings, meditating? What is this thing that makes you a Buddhist? And why do you want this thing that makes you a Buddhist make you a Buddhist? So let's get into it. So my question is, why are you interested in the Buddha's teachings? Are you interested in the Buddha's teachings? And if yes, then what is the purpose? What do you expect from the Buddha's teachings? So you have a lot of choices. I hope that you will make your own choices as well. But just to help you to understand my question, you can, some people have the purpose to achieve peace. They just want peace in their life. Some people want to achieve success. They want to be successful in their life, be it as famous or as rich. It's perfectly fine. You can follow the Buddha's teachings to be rich or famous. Perfectly okay. Then some people follow the Buddha's teachings because they want to be born in heaven. That's very good. It's a very good idea. Actually, the duty of a monk is to teach lay people how to get into heaven. So if the lay people want to get into heaven, then that's a nice match, right? Because the monks are supposed to teach you how to get into heaven. So if you want to get into heaven, then you nicely fit together. Some lay people, however, want to become enlightened. But usually they don't know what do they actually want from enlightenment. So they follow the Buddhist teachings to become enlightened, but they don't know what is the benefit of enlightenment, right? So you need to know that. So if you want to become enlightened, okay, but what do you expect from it? Do you expect from enlightenment that you will be in peace, or that you will be rich and famous? Or do you expect that as an enlightened person you will go to heaven? You see, we were back in the beginning. If you expect from enlightenment, do you expect from enlightenment that you will be free from mental defilements? Well, that's quite a deep purpose, right? Because then you will need to know, why do you actually want to be free from defilements? And we are getting very, very complicated. Do you see that? Why do you follow Buddhism? Well, because I want to become enlightened. Why do you want to become enlightened? Well, because I want to get free from defilements. Why do you want to get free from defilements? Well, you need to know why. So you want to get free from defilements to get peace, to get richness and fame, to be born in heaven. You see, you're getting into the same three things, even if you want to become enlightened. But there is something very deep about the Buddha's teachings which we do not find in the other religions. But that's of course because on the first sight it seems to be undesirable. What is that? To get free from rebirth. The idea that you get actually free from rebirth, that you will not be born anymore, no more birth as a human or in heaven or anywhere else, just no more, is sometimes scary for some people. But this understanding of the nature of life and the necessity to get freed from rebirth is very deep, complicated, and if you take it from the wrong end, it is also dangerous. So you need to be very careful. But the wisest people follow the Buddha's teachings so that they get free from rebirth. And that's also the main purpose of the Buddha's own practice before he was the Buddha. so that he gets free from birth, old age, sickness, and death. The main reason why you may like to get free from rebirth is that whatever starts, whatever is born, that must die. And all of the suffering of old age, sickness, and death are entirely and directly dependent on birth. If you're not born, then there will be no old age, sickness, death. If you are born, then there will be old age, sickness, and death. So there is no way out. It's just one solution, not to be bored. But do you understand the problem of old age, sickness, and death? Do you really want to get free from old age, sickness, and death? And that's the difficult question. For some people, they enjoy. They think, okay, well, that's part of life. So we'll get old. Who cares? We'll get sick. Who cares? We'll take some medicine and maybe we can get through. We will die. And what's up? We will just get another life next time, right? No problem. So the problem is that you do not get next life in this world. Commonly, you get next life in a hell or in the world of animals. And that is very unpleasant. So to understand the problem of death and the danger of death, because you never know where will your death lead you to, then that's very difficult. And it's especially difficult to accept it as the truth, as the reality. Okay, so I think I've given quite a detailed introduction. So hopefully now everyone understands. So I will ask you one by one, why do you and why do you like to listen to the Buddha's teachings? Why do you like to practice the Buddha's teachings? Okay, so let's start with Ao Mao. So Ao Mao, I would like to ask you, why do you practice the Buddha's teachings? Why would you like to learn more about the Buddha's teachings? And would you actually like to learn more about it? Mm-hmm. Okay. What does it mean? What do you imagine? How do you imagine a good life? I didn't hear it. Uh-huh. So, can you please say it again? The connection is not very good.
I want to have a good life, but not have danger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You would like to be free from danger, and do you think that following the Buddha's teachings will get you free from danger? Maybe it won't. This is the problem. So the Buddha's teachings actually will not get you free from danger. That's the paradox. So the dangers in life are inevitable, indivisible part of life. So dangers of old age, sickness, and death, danger of people who may steal, who may harm, who may abuse, and so on. That is inevitable, indivisible part of life. But although you cannot prevent it, you can reduce the probability. So you can reduce the probability of danger in life by being a good person. So as you follow the 5 precepts, as you are helpful, as you radiate loving kindness, you reduce the probability of danger because you do not create any more bad karma. Because you don't do any more bad deeds, well, then then those bad deeds are not there to give you that danger, to give you that suffering. So the less you break the 5 precepts, the less there is evil coming from you, and therefore there is less of the consequence for that evil. But be careful. In Buddhism, anything can happen. Even the Buddha had many enemies, and the Buddha was very much in danger. except that the Buddha it's not possible to kill the Buddha. So because it's not possible to kill the Buddha, although he had to face a lot of danger, the danger would never amount to killing him. On the other hand, monks who became fully enlightened and who achieved very powerful wisdom and purity, even those monks commonly were killed by bandits or by someone else. And that's part of life. Part of life is danger. So if you want to get free from danger, then you can get free from danger only by liberation from life. Only when you get liberated from life and death, from the cycle, life, death, life, death, life, death, life, death, and so on. So if you can get liberated from this cycle of birth, old age, sickness, and death, then of course, after you get liberated, when you achieve full nibbana, so-called parinibbana, then you are free from danger, because there is nothing impermanent, and therefore no danger. So you may like to consider what is this danger that you want to get freed from, and also consider the fact that indeed Buddhism actually will not help you get free from danger, at least not in this life. Why would you like to get enlightened? What do you expect from enlightenment?
I don't want to another life because I get a lot of pain.
Uh-huh. Okay, very interesting. So that's what enlightenment can provide you with. That's right. Enlightenment on the first level can provide you with freedom from being born in hell, animal realm, or ghost realm. Then, on the second level, it can provide you even with more opportunities for pleasure and safety in your life, in your human life or deity life. And starting from and in the third level, it makes sure that you would be born in a very pleasurable, peaceful realm among the Brahmas, and enjoy very long, very powerful peace, very clear peace. And then from there, you would soon get free from the cycle of rebirth. The fourth level of enlightenment, however, is the goal. Even if you achieve just the first level of enlightenment, still that first level of enlightenment will take you automatically, naturally, to the fourth level, at least, or latest, within 7 next lives. So the first level actually is already the start of all of the, it is the start of all of the freedom process, the process that frees you from birth, old age, sickness, and death. Are you comfortable to tell us what kind of suffering do you talk about? What kind of pain do you talk about when you mention that? Uh, I see. What do you worry about? What do you worry about? Excuse me? Like someone would bully you. Are there any people who already bully you these days? No, not yet. Okay. All right. If it happens, being a Buddhist definitely will not free you from bullying. Sometimes it's possible that actually being a Buddhism will actually attract bullies to bully you. So because you're different, and when you're different, that's a good incentive. That's a wonderful opportunity for bullies to bully. Then in that case, you need to inform your parents, and you need to inform your teachers immediately, because then they can help. Otherwise, there is no other help. The only help against bully is to inform the teachers and the parents and be very careful that they know all the details and that they can help you maximum. When I studied at a school, I also was bullied. Then my dad took me from the school and I didn't go to school. I visited the school only for tests. Later I moved to a different school and there it was fine. All right, so thank you very much. Melanie, can you tell us why do you practice Buddhism and why would you like to learn more about the Buddha's teachings? Um, and would you really like to learn more about the Buddha's teachings?
Was teaching to get a peace of mind and to get more mindfulness and also to practice
Very good, very good. Thank you very much. Very good answer. Tiha, why do you practice the Buddha's teachings and um, what do you and do you would you like to learn more? Oh yes, why do you practice the Buddha's teachings and would you like to learn more about the from the Buddha's teachings? So I'm asking about the practice and about the theory. Why do you meditate or why do you listen to the teachings? Uh-huh. 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 Okay. So you basically, so what you said is two things, right? You practice Buddhism because it's basically part of your family tradition, and second is the second reason is because you find it interesting. Is that right? Yes. Okay. So following Buddhism because it's a tradition is definitely not what the Buddha would suggest. So be very careful about that. Then, if everyone follows what is their tradition, then they will actually not move anywhere. You know, if Muslims follow Islam because it's a tradition, then that would actually not help them much. Because what if Islam is wrong? What about Christians and Hindus and Baha'is and atheists and so on? It is good for us to free ourselves from the bondage of tradition and make use of our wisdom. Buddhism has the specialty or the excellence in being interesting and powerful even after investigating through skeptical wisdom. So, following Buddhism because of a tradition that is one thing, but actually in Myanmar it is very severely criticized. In Myanmar, it is very severely criticized when people follow Buddhism because it's a tradition. So you may need to be careful. Ideally, you would follow Buddhism because it helps you to gain something in your life, or in the next life, or in the cycle of rebirth as a whole. So you may like to reconsider what are the reasons for following the Buddha's teachings. You find it interesting, okay. Well, I also find Islam interesting, but that certainly is not enough reason for me to practice it. So you may like to consider, why do you actually meditate? Is there any other benefit? Is there any other purpose that you may get from the Buddha's teachings? For the time being, you don't? Okay, that's good. As you practice the Buddha's teachings, hopefully you will find some purpose, some reason that makes Buddha's teachings more interesting, more reasonable and more attractive for your dedication, because you need to dedicate your time and energy, right, to Buddhism. So it would be good for you to know what would be that particular reason or purpose that make you dedicate so much time to Buddhism rather than other religions. Yes, Melanie has a question. Yes, freedom from rebirth is a good thinking in Buddhism, but you need to understand what is rebirth. You know, the problem of rebirth is not that you are born as a human and you enjoy sensual pleasures, you enjoy delicious food, you visit nice places. No, that's not a problem. That's good. We like it. There is another problem in rebirth, and that is that when you die in the human life, you may be born in hell, or in the realm of animals, or in the realm of ghosts. And that is a problem. We don't want to be born in hell, or as animals, or as ghosts, and that's why we want to get free from rebirth. It could, but it doesn't work like that. There are people who do bad deeds, and because they did bad deeds, they feel ashamed, and then they start to do good deeds. And of course, it works the opposite way as well. There are people who do good deeds, and because they do good deeds, and as they do good deeds, they feel that they've done already many good deeds, and so they start to do bad deeds because they think that they can do that. So it's very complicated. Doing bad deeds doesn't mean that the person will continue doing bad deeds, which is good, right? Because there's a hope. So someone who's doing bad deeds, someone who's evil, still can become good. But there's another problem, that those who are good can actually become evil. So it's quite a problem, you see. It's not there. There is no clearly given um, path. So there are people who believe that we are born so that we are better and better and better and better. But that's not the way the world works. That's the way we want the world to work, but not the way it really works. The world works in the way that you make it. If you make it so that you do good deeds, well, then you make good deeds. If you do bad deeds, well, then you do bad deeds. It's just that simple. And you will do bad deeds. Unfortunately, in the ultimate sense, you will do bad deeds without your free will. So there is this philosophy of free will. In Buddhism, we do believe that you have free will, but that's only conceptual, not in the ultimate sense. And now we are talking about the ultimate sense. So when we are talking about the ultimate sense, you actually do not have any free will. Things happen instead, whether you like it or not. So you're evil whether you like it or not. You're good whether you like it or not. But that's in the ultimate sense, you know. It's not anything that's practical information. This is a very non-practical information. That's why the Buddha never teaches it, and he's very strict and strictly rejects this idea. Well, because it's a non-practical information, so the Buddha will not accept and unpractical information because it doesn't help anyone. But in the ultimate sense, there is no one who decides. It's whatever you make as an action, which are also decided by our previous actions, then those actions will then lead other actions that you do. And that will also lead to other actions, and that may result in a certain world where you're born. And then in that world, you will be doing some more other actions depending on what is that world. So if you are, for example, born as a human in a family where the parents are Buddhists and they're generous and they follow 5 precepts, well, then probably you will follow them too. Or if you are born in a family of thieves and you're inspired by them and they teach you how to be a thief, well, then you'll probably be a thief too. So, that's the problem, that in the ultimate sense, we do not have any power to decide what will we do, what kind of person we will be. And because we do not have any such power, we realize that there is no freedom. In the ultimate sense, there is no freedom. Everything is already decided for you, whether you like it or not. It is useless for us. This information is useless for us, but it helps you to understand the danger of life, the danger of existence, because you never know what will happen. You are now lucky to be good. You are now lucky to be to know the Buddha's teachings. You are now lucky to be inspired by the guidelines to get free from rebirth. Well, then you're very lucky. Then, if you follow those guidelines and you get free from from rebirth, then there is no more problem because you're free from rebirth, right? So there is nothing to guide to decide whether you do good deeds or bad deeds because you don't do any deeds. You're free from existence. You're gone. And that is good, that we understand that as good. You see, it's very deep. It's very hard to understand. Well, but I actually can decide whether I will hit someone or give them some food, right? You can, because that's in the conceptual reality. That's not the ultimate reality. So that's the difficulty, because the teachings is so deep and the reality is so complicated. So explaining is very hard. But we want to achieve enlightenment because we realize that in the ultimate sense, indeed, there is no one who can decide, neither us nor a God creator. No, it's just going on itself, whether we like it or not. And we're just part of that machine. And we cannot do anything at all with that machine. And it's like Matrix, except that we cannot get free out of that. We're just part of it. Like if you have seen Matrix 1, 2, and 3, maybe you know that Neo in the end actually is part of Matrix. He's actually he's actually important software inside the Matrix. Anyway, so the reason for enlightenment is to stop this mechanism that decides what you do, what you don't do. But it's not like that if you start to do bad deeds, you will be worse and worse and worse. No, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes yes, but sometimes it doesn't. It's not like that you start to do good deeds and so you do better and better and better and better, and with every next life you get closer to enlightenment. No, that doesn't work like that. Some people believe it. Even in the ancient times, Egyptians, Egypt, the how to say that, the spiritual priests of Egypt, they believed that. But no, sorry, it doesn't work like that. So there are people who are good one life, they're evil another life, they're good another life, evil another life. It's very hard. Okay, is it clear now? Sometimes. Yes. Yes, it is not exactly a cycle. That would also be quite. Oh, Miyake is gone. Yes, because we had to finish. There is kind of, we could say that of course it changes, like uh, good deeds and bad deeds, but unfortunately it is not at all comparable. Usually we are more evil than we are good, and therefore we are also more in hell than we are in heaven. So beings are more in hell and less in heavens. The Buddha one time took a few grains of soil, of dust, on the tip of his nail. And he asked monks, where is more dust, on the tip of my nail or on all of this earth? And the monk said, well, Venerable Sir, there is incomparably more dust on this earth in comparison to the few grains of dust on your tip of nail. And the Buddha says, well, if you take, how did he say that? Well, if you compare the beings in the heavens, in the human realm and in the heavens, with the beings in the hells, in the realms of animals and realms of ghosts, there will be even more beings in the realms of suffering than there are in the realms of pleasure. So, as you can see, it is very hard, very rare, very exceptional if you can be born as a human or in a world where you can meditate, where you can practice the Buddha's teachings. However, it is very normal, it is very obvious, common sense, commonplace that you are born in hell or animal realm or as a ghost, because that's what usually happens. That's the basic standard. So standard is to do evil. Very non-standard, very extraordinary is to do good. We cannot say that evil and good are a cycle because they're not comparable to each other. Okay. So thank you everyone for coming today. I think next week we will have another opportunity to discuss your purpose and your reasons for practicing and learning the Buddha's teachings. Thank you everyone for coming. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana. Okay, goodbye everyone.